What's going on? So let's talk about Doug Gottlieb. And I want to talk about, I'm looking at Rich Eyes. I'm looking at some of these white commentators, and of course, ESPN, where they're dragging OJ Simpson, where they're trying to act like they just can't accept a not guilty verdict. And of course, they had Stephen A. Smith, who's their known tap dancing giant, make his remarks. No one is denying or downplaying Nicole Brown Simpson's transition or Ronald Goldman's transition. Let's get that clear. No one is saying that. However, you can't accept the verdict. You're still dealing with that hate and the reality. See, the thing is with white folks, and it is predominantly white. There are black folks who had that think that had their takes on his case that they think he did it, but predominantly white in media, they're still holding on and dwelling. They always tell black folks, get over it, don't dwell, don't think about it, don't be caught up in all that. However, they're the ones that are guilty of it because Doug Gottlieb, who's out here saying wishing death and cancer and all that, is evil. And I'm gonna tell you something. God don't like evil and negative and dirty, and don't take pretty too kind. You gotta have a happy medium in your life. You gotta have some humble pie. And see, for people to come out here and say this venom shows me how racist they are. When I tell you that America with three Ks is a very racist country, this is a great example of it. And see, OJ was supposed to be the good Negro who crossed over and he did all the right things. And even when he married a white woman, it was like, okay, we welcome you in because we embraced you and you are our token one. The thing is, people will never respect black people. The jury wasn't respected. It's still a carryover. Regardless of where you come down on anything, you live with it, you go along with it, you know. But people are quick to rush to judgment with him. They still have this venom and this divide, you know. Because let's be realistic, we know reparations are still due. We know we have not been treated fairly in this country, and with everything that happened with Rodney King. But let's just concentrate on OJ. OJ was the manifestation of all that. And there are people who were mad because OJ lived a life as close to being white without being white that you could. You weren't never supposed to have your assets to protect yourself for a rainy day. He did. You weren't supposed to live in such an exclusive neighborhood and be that one and be embraced, but he was. I make the case that there was a part where O.J. Simpson was bigger than Michael Jackson in America. But like Eddie Griffin always says, a black man don't never leave without being tarnished or touched up because they will never accept things. And the sad part is it was like a lie in a lot of ways because he had to be anointed and selected as a certain way to get acceptance. He never would have any other way. That crossover dream and the reality of it and the ugly smear of it all. And he lived different lives. And I will tell you this, no matter who you're with, the uniform doesn't change because you're still a black man, contrary to what he said. And there are things he said that I did not agree with, and there are things that were going on that I didn't agree with. However, he did have charisma. He was the personality that was anointed. And I tell people all the time, before there was Sugar Ray Leonard, before there was Michael Jordan, before there was Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Kobe, Shaq, you can say Curry, LeBron. You can name a lot of people. He was a product pitchman, even for Mike Tyson, because he impacted all that. Eddie Robinson, the Grambling State great head coach, said it in a documentary on ESPN. He opened up the gates for the black crossover athlete. He did. And the dream, he was, as far as what corporate America, you can tie in the sponsors and everything to him too, or Michael Jackson if you want to a lot of black entertainers, to Beyonce. Yeah, it was not just, see, because when you're black, you don't just represent just that one segment, you the whole nine. But then when something happens, the dominoes, they hold you as one and then they follow you to represent. And I'm going to sit here and say, OJ didn't represent me or paper. But I agree with Paul Mooney said. If you haven't listened to Paul Mooney's take about the OJ trial and everything, it was true. And all I will say about it is I do believe drugs played a big part. Timeline never added up. I saw the police shot with him in his underwear. There were no marks on him except a cut on his finger. So where's all this mountain of evidence and stuff that people say? His carpets were still white. I tell you right now, OJ liked white too much than he did red. He didn't like no blood. He liked white too much. He liked white women, white wine, and white coke. Let's keep it 100, okay? We're going to keep it 100. Was not what they wanted out to be. They don't believe that their own selves. Mark Furman still has jobs to this day. Do you think if he was a black detective who bungled and did what he did and plead the fifth that he would even so much even grasp a local Dunkin' Donuts part-time? That's white privilege. And see, white privilege is allowed to say good riddance, to wish death upon you, to say the most evil venom stuff regardless. They don't even do that for a mass murder. They never said that for Jeffrey Dahmer. They never did say it for McVeigh, Timothy McVeigh, blown up Oklahoma City building. Where is all the horror for that? Where is it at? You know, that is the reality. And O.J. Simpson in black and white represent the racial dynamics in America with 3Ks. And it still felt almost 30 years later because June 13th will mark the 30th anniversary. Ain't it something that you hear people venom loud and clear? They are showing their true colors, but they never did hide their Klan outfit. They just are in the face they're in. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like it on my please.